Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Create a Team Career here on the PC with Cadillac. Tonight it's round 13 of Season 2. We are heading to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Okay, so it is the day of the Grand Prix weekend, beginning of September. We are just under $1 million in debt. And, yeah, we need things to start improving and quickly, both result-wise and financially. Hopefully we can do something around this circuit. Normally this would be one where we could maybe get a nice little boost with the AI using a lot of tyres, but it's a very wet weekend, so that potentially changes things quite dramatically. We may not get that opportunity. This could well be just a one-stop race. It could be a two-stop race. This very high rain here could mean that we get weather that fluctuates between inters and full wets a few times, or not at all. It's up in the air, but we're certainly not going to have that potential undercutting in terms of staying out and making fewer stops. So, yeah, let's hope that Hamilton's wet weather skill will shine tonight. Let's hope that we can perform at a decent level. But I think points are probably out of reach here tonight as well, unfortunately. And we are running out of spare races as well. This is round 13, so including tonight, we have 8 Grand Prix left in the season. And we need to score points in 6 of those if we want to hit our long-term objective. Plus, we also need points if we want to try and close the gap back up to 7th in the standings, which is our target, our season target. There you can see Williams are currently 41 points clear of us, and that is proving to be a little tricky to overcome at the moment. Evening Victor, evening Daniel, evening Dino, evening Wayne. Hello. Hi to everybody else who's lurking in the chat as well. As you might have seen, we've got a new logo for the Alpine team. Alpine are being sold at the end of the season, so they are running a new livery to represent a happier time for the team before the end of the season, when they will become something different next year. We also have an updated Audi livery tonight, and we're also running a new updated livery for Ferrari and McLaren. Old school liveries have returned for those two teams. Just to pick up to have a little bit of fun with liveries for the rest of the season, seeing as we're running the old school Williams logo and livery. So let's jump in, shall we? Let me have a quick look at the cars, make sure the powertrain is prepped, because I need to get in the habit of doing that. Let's put the old stuff in before we go. And let's go with that gearbox as well. There we go. Debating whether or not to put the rookies in the car tonight. Might be, I don't know if it improves their wet weather skill, being, driving in the wet at all. I think it's something that has to be learnt through training. But I don't know if I want to take that risk of sticking them out there in these conditions with our cars in such fragile conditions in terms of number of parts. We don't have a lot of stuff in the warehouse, as you can see. We have no spare front wings, no spare rear, well, one spare rear wing, no spare side pods, and the new suspensions aren't ready yet. When will we have the first one? In 4 days' time, when we get back from Budapest. So, yeah, not ideal. We are going to go 20th or higher with Valtteri. I just don't think we're going to have enough pace with him in the wet for anything better than that. Hamilton should be good for 18th. I said that last time.
Welcome to the beautiful Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. We've arrived at the Hungaro Ring, located just outside Budapest. It's one of the shortest laps on the F1 calendar. Drivers are forced close together on this track, jostling for position and defending their space to the end.
In the Constructors' title battle, it's Mercedes who are currently leading. But there are still plenty of points up for grabs this season.
Let's get on with the weekend.
So it's going to start dry, but there are definitely some heavy clouds out there. I'm not going to run the rookies. I'm just not going to take that risk. So we'll stick with our main drivers. Hard tyres could be useful here. Soft tyres less so, I think. Actually, no, wait, it's a wet weekend, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we'll run that. We'll run the hards. Let's see. Hungary's normally 20 laps if you want to do 2 runs. We want to do just the 1. Let's go with 32. Let's go with 35 laps of fuel. Might need to push the tyres. And we might not be out there for more than 15 laps anyway. Depends on if and when that rain hits. Okay, so setups. It's very high downforce circuits, so we want very high downforce on the car. We'll go with a 10 and a 15 for Lewis. We'll go with a 3.7 on the roll bar. We'll drop this down to there and there, like so. This is another one of those circuits where the setup window can be very, very weird. So we might be close, we might be a mile off, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how we do. We'll go with a little bit more on the camber and a little bit more on the toe as well. Let's go with something like that. There we go. Evening, Johnny. And let's hit the track, shall we?
So now we have green light.
Radio check.
Copy, loud and clear. Radio check.
Radio check. Good for me too.
All right, let's have a look. Is it going to rain in this session? Yes. It's going to gradually keep building until past the halfway point, and then it will start to dry out again. So we might be calling them in early. So we're going retro with Ferrari. Classic, I think 2013 livery, if memory serves. Good to see Santander back on the grid in some shape or form. Good to see Marlboro back on the grid as well.
My tyres.
We need to work on the tires, keep the temperature on the tires.
And right behind you can see Wadsworth in the classic Alpine livery. Well, classic Renault livery from 2006. Fernando Alonso's title-winning car. A couple more to show you. And they're back. Evening, Mike. Still no sign of Audi just yet.
Rain in the next couple of minutes.
Yep.
No movement from either Audi driver yet. Maybe they're waiting for the rain.
Night rain over here. Paper.
Bortoleto goes out as it starts to rain. So, new and improved Audi livery. Well, improved is subjective. New. Their concept livery for 2026. I figured I may as well start getting used to seeing it. Given that we're only a few months away from actually becoming a reality. Still not sure what to think of it. From some angles it looks nice, from other angles it looks awful. That straight on side angle looks terrible. It's just that straight line right down the middle of the car that just, well, not down the middle, down the back third that does it. I think if it was a curved angle, kind of a bit like the curve on the inside of the McLaren swoosh. If it had that kind of elliptical kind of slash, I think it would look a lot better. rather than just a straight line. But there it is. Right, how close are we to feedback? A little way off yet. 4 out of 4 for both, or 4 out of 5. There we go, we've got feedback for Valtteri.
Car was good. Thanks, guys.
Have a look.
Copy that.
88%, that's not too bad. Might need a bit more rear wing.
And try to work on your front tires.
87 for Hamilton, so very, very close for him too. To Valtteri, just 1% difference.
Copy, understood.
Ah, but no, that would be actual rather than conceptual, Dino. So, so Leclerc staying out. If that was the best you can come up with, then you're on a par with that Audi designer.
Let me know conditions.
All right, so track is now officially damp. Try and stay out if we can. Piastri's still out there now. He's boxed as well now.
The temperature okay?
And try to keep the temperature on the tires.
Okay, so you can see that Hamilton and Valtteri have closed right up. Hamilton's got through, I think, or has it? No, Valtteri's been closing in on Hamilton. That doesn't make sense, unless it's down to the gearbox.
Copy.
No, that's at 48%. So I'm not quite sure why Valtteri suddenly closed in on Hamilton. Oh no, wait, no, Hamilton has lapped him. Hamilton's a lap ahead, look. So Hamilton has overtaken Valtteri. And he should be pulling away again now.
No more rain expected. Copy.
Yeah, he's already looking further apart this lap.
Yeah, copy.
There's a new helmet. I need to have a look at that, actually. Is that a Sauber helmet? generic Sauber helmet. I'll have to have a look at replacing that with the one that we were using before. Bortoletto should still be using his because he actually has his own helmet design. Yeah, there we go. So, well, at the very least, I suppose it gives us a nice colour distinction between the two. So, a very, very eventful Grand Prix weekend. Whew. All sorts of drama in qualifying. A wet qualifying at Vegas. That was a spectacle in itself. Some interesting action going on during the race, and then of course the double disqualification of McLaren. Ooh. Ironically, that's actually helped Piastri. Well, kind of. It's actually closed the gap back by 6 points. Had the result stood, he would have been 6 points further back than he is right now. So, you know, he's got that going for him, I suppose. But Max is there with him now. They're both level on points. It's still in Norris's hands, but it's definitely game on for Max now. Could he win another title this season? Not impossible. The form he's in right now. I mean, Norris has been in great form as well, but I mean, McLaren seem to be, I don't want to say self-destructing, but making some very strange decisions. And they certainly don't have that advantage that they had earlier in the season. In the past, at the beginning of the year, we saw, and last year as well, we saw that McLaren were really strong against the rest of the field in hot conditions as well. See, that does not apply to Vegas, but does apply to Qatar and to a slightly lesser degree Abu Dhabi. But this year, in some really hot conditions, we haven't seen that same advantage.
And we need speed limiter on.
So I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk.
Stop in front of the garage.
I think Max is going to be fighting for those wins. I think he's going to be a huge threat. Let's take a look at Hamilton, and yes, it does look like we do need a bit more rear wing. Let's bring the front wing. No, let's push the front wing. Can't push it up. Let's bring this back. That's going to fix my cornering. And then if we increase this to there, so that matches what we put on Hamilton. No, on Valtteri, sorry, but with a little bit more rear wing. And let's strip some of that fuel out. Ten minutes left in the session. Not long at all. And yet more F1 news. Andy Cowell is on the verge of being ousted as team principal at Aston Martin. That'll be like that'll be their fourth managerial change in just a couple of years. The big talk is that Horner could be taking over. I think it's less likely that Horner will take over because
should be on now. Stop where the guys
I don't think he's going to have the level of control that he would want. I think someone more along the lines of Andreas Seidel is in with a shout. Maybe Binotto. He's another name that's been surfaced and floated around. A lot of places I've seen reporting saying that Andy Cowell is just getting pushed out completely. I've seen the race say that they think he's actually going to be pushed to aside. Well, not pushed aside, but he's going to be moved to head up the become technical director of the powertrain division. I mean, that is a role that he excelled at Mercedes. It's where his specialty is. And with new engines coming in with Honda, it does kind of make sense in some respects to have that laser-driven focus of someone like Andy Cowell working hand in hand with Honda. We might not even see a replacement team boss. It's possible that Stroll may take that role himself. Let's take a look at Valtteri. Okay, so this needs to change. That could go either way. Ooh, which way do I want to go? Let's try going to a 2.8. Let's try that. Aston taking the Ferrari approach. No, actually, Ferrari's approach is a bit scattergun. It will be interesting to see exactly what does happen.
Okay, and checkered flag.
Here we go. The session is over. Only got back on track for a couple of minutes in the end with Valtteri. And it's Iwasa topping the timings. Wow, did not expect that. Up to 52% prep for Hamilton, 43 for Valtteri. like it's going to start dry again. We'll go on to mediums for this session. Let's stick 25 laps of fuel in the car. Forced a habit there. Let's get a quick look at some feedback. The only bit we got was on the front wing, and that's where it needs to be, so that's encouraging. There we go. And let's send them out for second practice.
Green light. And we need a good warm-up on the brakes.
Yep.
Alright, let's speed them up.
Starting to spit.
Copy.
Oh, I didn't think to check the weather. Alright, let's do that now. It's going to be a bit wetter, I think, given it started raining so early. No, about the same, actually. Same as it was, maybe a little bit less than in the last session.
So, reporting a lot of rain.
Let's have some good news. There we go. Bang on. 100%. Lovely stuff. Now, can we match that with the changes we made to Valtteri's car? Not quite, but 96 is definitely a huge step forward. So maybe that's just the front wing that needs to change, with a minor tweak just to balance out that change on a couple of other parts as well.
Virtual safety car deployed.
One of those Audis is gone.
Stay positive.
Understood.
Seems
There's a
Portoletto
yellow
doesn't
flag
like the livery. Even if Farrett.
Mate, I crashed.
And we're going to see another replay, apparently.
And just like that, the hopes of the team start to dwindle.
It's getting a little busy on the track around Valtteri here. He is very slow. His gearbox is falling apart. How much is left in it, actually? Let's have a look. 8%. Yeah, he's 2 seconds a lap slower than Hamilton at the moment in practice. Because that car is on its last legs. How are we looking on prep? Still need more. That's the end of the VSC. Back to green flag running.
And track conditions.
Valtteri's car is hanging on by a thread at the moment. Fault could pop up at any point
And no more rain.
in any of his engine parts.
Understood.
But we need to run that to the ragged edge. Given that we lost a unit earlier in the season. Couple more laps and they're both going to be coming in. There we go, Hamilton's in. What's his feedback at? Perfect, he's prepped and done. So we don't need to send him out. Valtteri is going to be just short, I think.
Confirming you are boxing this lap. Copy that.
Shouldn't I do purple on fuel to reduce the engine damage? It doesn't reduce engine damage. Only if the engine is overheating does it, negate that issue. And with the tire mod, it actually makes it much harder to try and keep the tires in a window where they actually don't fall apart immediately. So that's why we don't save on fuel anymore. Same reason we don't avoid curves as well. Just makes it almost impossible to keep that heat in the tyres. So, looks like we're a little bit high on front wing. So we take that to a 9.5. Push that back there. That should do it. I think. Yeah, no, I used to. I used to run everything on the lowest possible setting. I'd put them on driving clean air. I'd put them on avoid curves. I'd put them on the lowest pace setting for the tyres and the lowest pace setting for fuel, as well as making sure the ERS was in harvest mode. But, say, running the tyre performance mod, which is probably going to get stripped off at the end of the season, it just takes too much temperature out of the tyres, and they have such a narrow window with the mod that it's hard to keep them in the window. Generally, in practice, we struggle sometimes to keep them in the window because we don't push them just to try and get laps on the board. But if they get too cold, really, really cold, then they shred and they fall apart. and they wear out even quicker. So yeah, we have to try and balance pace against protecting the car where we can. Will be less of an issue next season. Do I want to send him out? How much fuel has he got in there? That 1 lap up at the moment. Yeah, let's do it in the next session. So we're done in this session. Yeah, I desperately want to like the tyre mod, because in some races it does give us that really realistic kind of tyre situation, but there's just too many races where the AI just makes too many stops. So on reflection, yeah, I think it's better if we just rip it out at the end of the season and have an in-game change of the regulations to remove that mod. We'll run it for the rest of this season. I was hoping that things would be a bit better this season because everyone's tyre wear has improved, and to a degree that is the case, but we've also seen some circuits where it's gone too far in the other direction as well. So yeah, all right. Day 2, Saturday, final practice, and more rain on the track. We're going to start just inside dry conditions, but looks like we are going to go to wet conditions very soon. And if there was something for console, after a while you just kind of figure out the strategy for everything. Yeah, you do. It's something that what I always try to do is create like challenge modes, where I'd create all sorts of self-imposed rules and regulations that I had to follow, just to make things a bit trickier. But there's only so much you can do.
Green light.
So yeah, it's going to rain all the way through the session and just progressively get worse. Actually, why am I sending Hamilton out? It doesn't need to go out. This is force and habit. Okay, those tyres are massively overheating. There we go. Now the track's starting to get wetter again. There we go. Temps coming up.
There's more rain now.
Okay, so now we can tell Valtteri
Cool the car as much as you
to
can.
avoid the high risk curves.
Copy.
What do I think of the results on the weekend? I think it's showing McLaren's level of hubris at the moment. I also find it suspicious that they were warning Norris of the potential issue, but they didn't say a word to Oscar, and his car ended up even worse in terms of regulation, rule breach as a result.
Anything we can help you with?
Keep the same. Copy that.
I think Oscar needs to start thinking about moving on. I don't think he's going to get that level of treatment unless Norris leaves the team. So maybe he needs to go somewhere else if he wants to realise his ambitions. The question is, though, where do you go? Antonelli had an amazing drive, an absolutely amazing drive. Ferrari, what the hell was going on with Ferrari at the end? I mean, they're a shambles this season, but not even telling Leclerc, or maybe they did, but we never heard it, but letting Leclerc get outside of that 5-second window of Antonelli's penalty. So he wasn't able to get ahead of Antonelli. He missed out by less than 1/10 of a second, or by less than a second, I think. It was like a couple of tenths. That was it. You'd love McMurk. I think the only way he's going to get a Mercedes seat is if George moves on. I mean, George has just signed a new deal. McLaren said that they're going to help Oscar a bit more now that he's tied with Max. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to help him, enough to challenge Norris. Which way does this go? It doesn't matter. We are at 100% prep, so that's it. We're done for practice. Yeah, I mean, there are no real options opening up at the moment as we see the other Audi in trouble.
Now this was at turn 1. Round they spin. In the end, just a helpless passenger.
I mean, if you look at who's out there, maybe Williams could be back up there in a season or two, but I don't know if they're going to get rid of Albon. And if the team gets good, I can't see Sainz wanting to leave. Ferrari, but I mean, at this point, would you want to gamble on going to Ferrari? Hamilton gambled on going to Ferrari, and the team got worse this season than they were last year. Started last year so strong and started to just fall apart. This year they were even worse. So where is there to go? Do you want to go to Alpine and all that turmoil at Alpine? I wouldn't. Plus he already has a problem, historical issues with that team, and they have historical issues with him. I mean, they took him to court over him signing for McLaren. Aston, but then Aston are supposedly trying to line up Verstappen for when Alonso leaves, because they're not going to get rid of Stroll. which opens up the seat at Red Bull, but that would be the seat that George would take. So maybe he could end up in a Mercedes. I don't know. You don't see Bottas or Perez staying for more than 3 years. Yeah, but that's 3 more seasons of being subservient to Norris. He's going to want to go somewhere else sooner than that if he's not going to get equal treatment. He's just driving like he has no confidence at the moment as well.
To the all-important qualifying session.
There are 3 periods of qualifying ahead of the drivers now. Remember, only the fastest 10 will make it through to Q3 for a shot at pole position.
And here's a driver there's been quite a focus on recently, Karun, Valtteri Bottas.
They weren't as quick as I expected them to be in practice. They'll want to land better lap times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
And you're right. Well, it's nearly time for qualifying.
All right. So let's get ourselves prepped. We'll start dry. That gearbox is a little borderline. We've still got more than enough gearboxes to get through the season. All right, we are prepped and ready. Qualifying is next.
Green light.
All right, so it's going to be potentially dry again at the end of the session, but we need to go now. Behrman's going to be first out, then Schumacher, then Valtteri, and then Hamilton. So Mick getting to drive.
We need a good warm-up on front brakes.
Understood.
Not his father's livery, but similar colour scheme to his father's livery. Everybody's coming out now, apart from Oscar. And there he is, at the very back. PGR agrees, but there are no top teams open right now unless Hamilton leaves Ferrari. It's the only top team that would be available,
Jack
and
is
even then
good.
it's Ferrari. Because you doubt
You're
Mercedes
good to
would
go.
drop Russell or Antonelli. Red Bull won't get rid of Max, and Ferrari to be
And
second
track
to
is
Max.
clear, track
I
clear.
doubt it. Yeah, I mean,
Tires button off for last corner.
like I said, I mean, Ferrari is. Do you really want to gamble on Ferrari in the way they are at the moment? I think it's too big a gamble. I think more likely Behrman would take the seat at Ferrari anyway. He has been groomed to be Hamilton's long-term replacement, I think. Haas are never going to get to the front of the grid. I just don't see it. So you wouldn't want to go Haas. That would be a step back for Piastri. I wouldn't want to. I don't think any driver who wants to be a race winner or a championship winner would want to partner Max at Red Bull. I mean, in general, probably wouldn't want to partner Max anyway, but certainly wouldn't want to partner Max at Red Bull because the Red Bull has been designed around Max. And we've seen that nobody else can cope with the car as it's permanently on edge to a point where Max is the only one who knows how to handle it. All right, problem for Iwasa through turn 5. That's the long,
But this is
sweeping
what
right-hander.
That's... Oh, no, that's
yep.
not quite what they would
Clatters
have
the
wanted.
curves a little bit.
And they'll find themselves at a disadvantage if they keep on doing that.
You also saw on a recent Cadillac video that Xavi's their race
You are
engineer.
currently P3.
He works for Cadillac, but in sports car racing. I've seen. In fact, let me write it down. Not write it down. Sorry, let me get my notepad. I wrote it down. Potential engineers for Cadillac for next season: Stephen Lane and John Howard are both listed as race engineers on LinkedIn. John Howard is former Alpine. I don't know about Stephen Lane, where he's come from. But say Xavi's working, I think, in their 24-hour program. And they may bring him across. He may be senior or head of engineers in the same way that GP's been promoted to that post this season. So, look at that. Here comes the rain. Hamilton is currently through. Valtteri isn't. I don't think there's any point going back out again now. By the time Valtteri spins up for the next flying lap, he's going to be... The track's going to be in too bad a condition. Yeah, Xavi's been with... another yellow flag. That's McLaren, I think. Yeah, Piastri having a little lock-up at turn 5.
Let's see what happened there. Let's have a look then at turn 6.
Oh, Christ, yeah, that is turn 6, not turn
Well, you
5.
can see
But
the lockup.
very
That's
crowded on
just the
track.
risk you take. The later you leave it.
But that's everyone coming back to the pits anyway, I think. He's been with them since he left Ferrari. So year and a half, nearly. Trying to think when they replaced him with Brian Bozzi last season. I know it was some point early to mid-season. Right, nobody is going to improve for a while. Bortoletto certainly isn't. He's on the right tyres, but the track's just so damp. He's not going to. He's not going to progress. Well, I say progress. He's not going to improve. He's 9th at the moment, so very much a chance of progressing. Water levels coming down, and he's off. Oh my god! That's the second time he's wrecked his car this weekend. He did it in practice. Now he's done it here in the Grand Prix as well. In qualifying. Oh my god.
Hey, what the f happened?
Alright, well that should dry the track up in completely. I'm going to go with a brand new set of tyres for both, I think. Seven and a half minutes left. You know what? I think there's just time. It's quite a short lap, so let's see what 1:16. So let's say it's a minute 40 to do an out lap. 2:40. About 3 minutes. Then another in lap. Say about 5 minutes. It's doable. It's doable if we are quick. We can just about. I mean, we're risking having issues with traffic, but we could potentially get 2 runs in here. It will be tight on the second flying attempt, or the second run after this, which will technically be, I suppose, be the third run. It will be very tight, especially if we get pulled over to let traffic through. But if we can get them up into peak confidence on this run, and then slap some new tyres on, that would be awesome. We'll take manual control once they start their flying laps as well, so that we can get them in quicker. We're not going to see 2 runs from any of the AI. They're going to make just 1 more run, which means they're probably going to wait a little bit longer. We might see someone popping out in the next minute or so to make an early run, but
And track is clear, track clear.
everyone's only going to make one more
And charge button
run.
off
We're
for
going to
last
try
corner,
and squeeze
charge
2
button
in.
off.
All right, so let's take manual control of Valtteri and manual control of Hamilton, so they'll have faster in laps. Let's see if we can find an improvement. Not the first sector, but then tyres weren't quite fired up properly. There we go with Hadjar coming out. No improvement in the middle for Valtteri, but he'll get a little bit of confidence credit for completing a flying run. course, their confidence was reset down to starting point. Oh no, I forgot. We don't get it on this when they do an in-lap. Oh, god damn it, that's
Cool your
frustrating.
tyres. We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%.
Hamilton didn't improve either, although, to be fair, I probably didn't really expect him to.
And try to cool down the tires as
Yeah,
much as
neither
possible.
driver's got that boost that they
Understood.
needed because we took manual control. I
And
should have
we
waited
need
till
to
they completed their
increase
in-lap
lift-off.
or completed their flying lap.
Make sure your limiter is on. Stopping on the marks and going to P1, please.
There will be speed limiter on, please.
All right, there
Stop in front
goes
of the garage.
Antonelli. And Norris. A few cars out now, both the Astons, both the Ferraris. There goes Verstappen. And Lindblad. Damn it, wrong button. There we go. So I'll be surprised if we can get Valtteri through, but I think we've got a good chance of sneaking
past
Hamilton
now.
through into the next session.
Brake warming reminder. Copy.
As one of the racing
Try to
bulls
work on the
sneaks
front
out behind us.
tyres.
That's Iwasa, 11th at the
Understood.
moment. Stroll up in P5. And this is Hadjar on an in-lap coming up behind us, so no threat there. And here comes the rest of the field at the pits as well. Right, Sainz is improving. Leclerc is not, but he's already through. Magnussen's improving as well. So Sainz improves, but only to 14th.
Track will be clear.
He's only a couple of
So remember,
hundredths,
mode
if
push,
that,
You are good to go.
ahead of Hamilton. Sainz at risk of
Track
getting
is
knocked out
clear.
here.
Track is clear. Charge button off for last corner. Charge button off.
Norris improving. Let's keep an eye on Valtteri's sector times while we ride on board the ham cam. Antonelli absolutely flying in the middle sector. Valtteri might get traffic here at turn 4 into turn 5. There's a 28.1 in the opening sector. 27.9 for Hamilton. Bottas has cleared Sainz. He's got Leclerc in front of him next. Leclerc's going to peel out the way. 27.8 for Behrman. Down to 16th for Hamilton. There's Sainz. Leclerc won't be an issue for us. Hamilton up to a 25.9 in the middle sector, 10th quicker than Valtteri. Valtteri across the line, improves his time but not his position. Hamilton jumps up to 14th, so he's knocked out Sainz potentially here, with Behrman improving. Behrman gets through to 16th. It might not be enough because Gasly's improving as well, although lost some time in the first sector to Behrman. Might have a cleaner final sector though. He doesn't do enough. He stays last. Lawson has not been able to improve. So we have got Hamilton through 14th at the expense of Carlos Sainz, who will be eliminated along with Kevin Magnussen, Alex Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Valtteri, and Gasly. All right, into Q2. Not somewhere we spend a lot of time. Let's put the used set of tyres on. What is the starting track water level? Overview 1.35. So let's go with 2 flying laps worth of fuel. Let's get out nice and early. Let's check what the water level's going to do. It's going to get worse. So expect to see a little flurry of activity any moment from the rest of the pit lane.
And we need a
Norris is out, Behrman's out.
Yep.
Here comes everybody else. Whole pit lane's emptying. Apart from Stroll and Leclerc. There's Stroll. Where's Charles Leclerc? If he pops out right in front of me and slows me down, I'll kill him. There he is. So we are quite possibly going to encounter him. Well, we are definitely going to encounter him on our lap somewhere. It's just a question now of where.
And track is clear, track clear.
There will be more push for last corner, more push.
Down this little dipping hill before going back up into turn 4. Long sweeping right hander for turn 5. 30.2 in the first sector. No idea if that's quick or not. It's only a tenth slower than Behrman. Behrman has got pace in his car. A couple of tenths down to Lando. A couple of tenths around here is quite significant. Not a great first sector for Hadjar then. Slower than Lewis. Not a great middle sector, 27.5. There is Leclerc just disappearing over the hill in front, so we didn't actually catch him. So we did a 120.8. Yeah, down 0.7 to Behrman. That's not so good. Behrman quicker than Norris and Ocon. Hadjar slower than us. Max goes top by a 10th. So that puts us 0.8 down. Now Russell goes top by another 10th. Now we're 0.9 down. Another flying lap to come. Let's see what Leclerc clocks in on this lap. Track hasn't got worse yet, but it's about to. Look how grey and overcast it is, how dark the sky is. So Leclerc pops up, but only to 9th. Can we find an improvement on this lap before the track gets worse? And is it likely to improve towards the end of the session? No. So this is it. This is our last chance to improve. Oh, come on. What the hell? That's it. We're out. They all parked at turn 1 for, waiting for me.
We've seen it.
Bastards. Utter bastards. Yeah, there we go. Track's starting to get worse. So we're out. But we're at P14. Stroll, Lawson, Antonelli, Hamilton, Hadjar, and of course Bortoletto, who smashed his car up for the second time this weekend. Man, his powertrain situation is going to be awful going into the Grand Prix. It's going to be a pit lane start for Bortoletto, I'm pretty sure of that. And that's it for qualifying. No one's going to improve now. Brief yellow flag for somebody. Lock it for Iwasa.
Right, we're down at turn 5. And the car fails to respond. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
There we go, that's it. Qualifying is done for us. .14th isn't too bad, all things considered. Let's see who sticks it on pole. It's George from Lando. And it got even wetter in that session. Look at some of these times. I don't know if that's traffic induced or it just got really, really wet. Ocon in 3rd place. Lindblad in 4th. 5th for Iwasa. Iwasa all the way up in 5th. 6th for Oscar. 7th for Leclerc. 8th for Schumacher. 9th for Behrman. Max down in 10th place. And then, of course, those cars eliminated in Q2. Stroll, Lawson, Antonelli, Hamilton, Hadjar, Bortoletto. Then Sainz, Magnussen, Albon, Tsunoda, Bottas, Gasly. Bortoletto is going to have to start from the pits as they rebuild that car. Are there any other penalties? I don't think so. Let's start getting prepped and ready for the Grand Prix, shall we?
There's a fantastic atmosphere here at the Hungaroring today as we prepare for 70 laps of thrilling F1 action.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory.
The Hungaroring is one challenging succession of corners and turns. With few straights, it's affectionately known as the go-kart circuit. Drivers will have to find a proper rhythm to make the most of the layout, and for cars, low-speed downforce will be paramount. Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of
double Valtteri
F1 action. It's
We haven't
race
seen
day.
that since here last year, I think. But we got double Valtteri in the pit lane again. Okay, so it's going to start just over 4 mil. That's full wet tyres. Let's take a look at the amended grids. So yeah, just that pit lane start for Bortoletto. That will bump Valtteri at one place to 21st. That's a 20th. No change to Lewis. Let's take a look at the forecast. See what's what. So yeah, it's going to dip down and then get very wet again. I wonder if it's worth us starting on the inters and then boxing around lap 10. Or maybe even trying to tough it out. It looks like too much to tough out though. But it's definitely going to be full wets from about lap 32-ish onwards. Let's see what Hamilton's predictions look like. So Valtteri suggests switching to inters lap 21 and then lap 41. Back to full wets. 23 and lap 50. Okay, so I'm more likely to believe what Hamilton's predictions are, given his improved wet weather skill over Valtteri. However, do I gamble here? I don't really want to throw away 14th place, so I think what I'll do is I'll keep Hamilton as is, but I'm going to start Valtteri on the inters and see if we can jump a couple of places quickly with him. We're going to stick an extra lap of fuel in. On both cars so that we can push the fuel. And we are prepped and ready. Let's send them to the grid for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. As we get to this race, our focus shifts to Valtteri Bottas.
Starting in 20th, the points are a long way off. Can they get a good start here and push for a respectable finish?
Let's see if anyone else is going to take this gamble.
There's no more time left. We've got a race on our hands. And here we go with the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Now, I was wondering if you were listening, Barrett. I was waiting for it.
And it's lights out and away we go.
All right, we've got a few starting on inters. We're not the only ones. It's already into conditions.
Keep battling away. Copy.
What a great start for Valtteri. Magnussen on inters as well. Directly in front of us. Someone's picked up a fault already. It didn't take long. It's Iwasa.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
Up in the nosebleeds in 7th place. Not used to being quite so high.
And track condition updates when you can.
Track's still not great.
Try to keep it smooth.
That's Valtteri up to 19th. Kind of. Maybe not.
No worries, mate.
Bortoletto closing in from his pit lane start. He's on the inters as well.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Understood.
Just cool your tyres.
So we need to be making progress if this strategy is going to work.
Understood.
Hamilton's dropped a place. Hadjar's nabbed him. Whereas Lawson nabbed Hadjar and Hamilton. Not sure. Valtteri's tyres overheating now.
Cool your tyres.
Copy.
So Russell leads from Ocon by nearly 2 seconds. Lindblad's in 3rd place right now. Piastri's 4th. Oh, Lindblad's got a fault. No audio, so we don't know what the fault is. And Tsunoda's trying to punch his way through. Needed to continue to get damper than this. We are going to try and tough it out with Lewis. And did that just go back up again? I think it did. I think it went back up by a 0.01. Are these tyres already a risk for us?
Charge on.
Hadjar's got past Lawson. Track's getting wetter. I'm not going to panic. It's light rain coming. And it is predicting that it's going to drop quite significantly. What am I hoping for tonight's race? A miracle. I'm hoping for points. Realistically, as long as I get both drivers home in their targets of 18th for Hamilton, 20th for Valtteri, or better, then you know, that'll be okay. But yeah, points would be nice.
And charge button on. Charge button
Your fastest
on.
lap for George Russell.
Yep.
129s. 129.9 to be precise. Just sneaking into the 129s there. Track continues to get fractionally worse. Let's turn Valtteri's tyres back up.
The tyre guys believe that we can increase pace in turn 12 a little bit. Might need to pick up the pace a little bit.
And try to increase
And
pushing
Hamilton's
status.
closing on Lawson. I think the inters are not working at the moment for anybody. Expecting to be put under a lot of pressure from Sainz, given that he's on inters. in that Ferrari, but that hasn't happened either. As you see Albon making a little look at Gasly in the background. Didn't get him, backed out of it.
ERS. Okay. And push.
Having a look up the inside. Not quite. Maybe around the outside. Nope, that gets shut down. And Tsunoda's gone through. Oh dear, oh dear. What is going on?
Charge button on.
The inters aren't working for anybody. Norris is dropping back now. Here we go. Track is starting to suddenly dry up. So this is where we need to really protect Hamilton's tyres, because we're going to try and tough it out. But this will now open up nicely for Valtteri, hopefully. I really was expecting it to be a couple of places further up the field than this by now. But this is where the wets are really going to start to struggle. And Lawson is breaking away from us. Sights now all over the back of Hamilton. Here he comes, having a little look. It's going to be the corners where we're going to be vulnerable, because the grip on the inters is going to be significantly better in the corners. Straight, the main straight, not an issue in terms of a significant difference in speed. But the braking into turn one, we are going to be extremely vulnerable. And Valtteri is right back onto Tsunoda. So we need to clear him quickly. Make the most of these tyres while we can.
Mode push.
Copy.
Oh man, is that another fault for Iwasa, or is that
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
or is that an escalation of the first fault? It's an escalation. It's gone orange already. So I've been having a lot of rainy races recently. Well, we didn't really have many at all last season. Iwasa, fault be damned, he puts in a new fastest lap. He is on inters, so that will help him in the short term anyway. Max moves past Lance Stroll. Antonelli gets past Lawson. No, Lawson gets past Hadjar, sorry.
Cool the car.
Copy that.
I'd say it's going to be the entry and exits to corners where the inters are going to be significantly better. As you see, we just go around Tsunoda with ease there.
Charge on.
Copy.
Hamilton's tyres are on fire.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now this was Valtteri Bottas. And they squeezed by.
Yeah, we've had
Now
more rain than
Bottas
last
moves
season,
up the
but
field.
not an over-the-top amount. Russell setting a new fastest lap. 1:29.0. That's very quick in these conditions on those tyres. It's a chance for Hamilton to push up.
And more energy.
Schumacher with a 1:28.4. As Hamilton goes up the inside of Hadjar. You see Sainz right behind us, trying to shadow us through. A little whoop. Another place gained. Back to 14th now for Lewis. His tyres are hotter than Valtteri's. Right, next up is Alex Albon. Hamilton says it's about to start raining heavier. Well, not for another few minutes, it won't. So this is where we absolutely have to fly now.
Can you go mode push now?
Get the most out of these tyres, because in a couple of laps' time, we're going to have to box and come in for wets. $1:27.5 for Schumacher. So up the inside for Valtteri.
He pushed me wide.
Sainz gets through on Hamilton, no real surprise there.
Hold on, mate.
And I don't think it's going to be long before Magnussen jumps us as well. Yeah, there we go. It's happened immediately as soon as I said that. These tyres are absolutely on fire right now.
Continue like this.
They see the difference in grip for Valtteri.
Good job. We're P18 now.
As soon as Valtteri gets past Hadjar, he should dive bomb him here. Yeah, there we go. Ah, damn it.
Excellent.
Hoping we'd be through much more comfortably than that. I was going to pull Hamilton over, but I can't on the main straight because he will get swamped and swallowed up by everybody else. As it turns out, we won't need to because Valtteri will have so much more exit speed and
Understood.
stopping distance. So now we have to sprint like crazy because in 2 minutes that track is going to get very wet indeed. Hamilton's tyres are falling apart in these conditions.
Glazing.
And the AI won't be suffering that problem to anywhere near this extent. Look how quickly we are closing in on Antonelli here. Bortoletto's through on Hamilton as well and already comfortably away from him. Again, no surprise there. Nothing we can do
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery.
I am going to tell Hamilton to avoid high-risk curves in these conditions.
Understood.
New fastest lap, 1:26.9 for Norris. Track's still getting drier.
Charge on.
And we just saw somebody, Albon, dive into the pits. Is that for Inters? Look at the speed difference.
Really good job.
Here we go. Track is getting wetter. No, he's going for another set of wets. Oh, that's a mistake. Unless he's destroyed his wet tyres. Which actually, given the rate that Hamilton's are falling apart and we've been protecting them all the way through, it's not impossible that he's ruined his tyres. Oh, fault for Behrman.
And as far as we can tell, they've got a fault with the car.
We just got past him as well. Hungary's one of the toughest races in this game. No, I don't think so. Not really. I mean, if you don't have a quick car, it's hard. But, I mean, there are harder races. Much harder races than this.
It's more rain.
As Max is struggling right now. Another new fastest lap, this time for Charles Leclerc, 1:26.6. Norris is into the pits. So is Magnussen. So, Magnussen, I'm not sure what tyres he was on. Was he on Inters? It's wets for Norris, as Magnussen ruined his wet tyres already. Hamilton's tyres are down to 70%, but they're good for the next stint, and then we'll have a brand new set of wet tyres for later. Yeah, he's come off a set of Inters.
You are currently P11. Norris ahead of you.
We're past Verstappen now.
We can see what happened. So here we go, heading into turn one. The gap opens up for them.
Just straight up the inside, and even with Harvest on,
And the overtake is made.
it's an easy overtake. Norris is next on another set of wet tyres. Track is definitely getting worse. All right, one more lap for Valtteri. Sainz with an issue now as well.
I cannot push. Something is strange.
Right, Behrman's in. And that's another wet change. Maybe I should have boxed this lap for Valtteri. Never mind.
And we will box this lap.
Got me boxed.
Right, Hamilton's tyre temps are starting to get lower at last. They're into double digits at last, rather than triple digits.
And tire phase update when you can.
That's good.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely chucking it down now. So Schumacher's in, getting off his inters. I'm expecting to see everyone else on inters boxing soon. Iwasa and Lawson have stayed out.
Box there is very slippery.
Surprised by that. Sainz has stayed out. In comes Valtteri. Maybe they're going to try and tough it out through this wet period. Hamilton's tyre temp's absolutely plummeting now. That's excellent news. .2 seconds stop. That's not amazingly quick, but it's clean. We're going to get out comfortably ahead of Behrman and Albon. And let's get these tyres fired up as quick as we can. Right, let's turn our attention to Lewis for a bit. Closing in on Antonelli.
And tires are good to push.
And now Lawson's in to get rid of his inters. There he goes. Bortoletto in as well. So, Valtteri should comfortably get out in front of Bortoletto here. And he does. There's Valtteri. Behrman's going to get him as well. Albon's closed the gap. So Bortoletto back down to 21st. Bottas's tyres are fired up. Hamilton's tyres nearly
We need to do the full management
in
on
the
this.
window, but we're inside the 1 second of Antonelli, so we're into slipstream range now. Right, tyres are overheating slightly. All right, let's cool them down a little bit further.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible. Use the energy.
And let's give Valtteri a little punch of speed. So Iwasa's in.
Go, mode push.
Okay.
Sainz is still out there. Is he going to box? No, he's going round again. So both Ferraris still out there. And it makes me wonder if they are going to try and ride out this period of heavy rain. Yeah, you see, it's not long till we go back to inters. And then it will be inters for a sustained period. But they are really going to struggle in these conditions.
If you are able to increase
Look at that.
pace,
Iwasa comes out
it would be a
only
good time to
just
do it.
in front of Valtteri.
So increase pushing status.
Hamilton under pressure from Liam Lawson. But close now to the back of Antonelli. Tyre temps are under control. Tyre temps are still actually falling. Can definitely be a bit more aggressive with Valtteri's tyres than we can with Lewis's tyres. And you can see just how much we lost during that little interperiod from the tyres overheating.
You can push.
Oh, yellow flag. Is that Leclerc? He's under a lot of pressure from Ocon. No, it's Lindblad locking up.
Just look at how wet the asphalt is. Very heavy on the brakes. And you can't afford to do something like that when
At
dealing
least he
with
kept
these
it out of
sort
the barrier.
conditions.
We often see people spinning off on that corner straight into that arm coat. Those Tech Pro barriers. Can we squeeze our way past Antonelli here? No, we're not close enough.
Yep.
So let's take a look at lap times. The Ferraris are going to be really struggling. 1:39. He lost 5.5 seconds to Russell that lap. Really bad lap for Sainz. The Ferrari is what's holding everybody up. We're all stacked up now behind Sainz. There he is. And he's going to just get gobbled up here as Max gets through.
Understood.
Valtteri's part of this queue as well.
Just concentrate on getting your tyre temps down.
Understood.
Okay, charge on.
Copy.
And I don't think we can do anything until people start clearing sides. You can see Max is already 2.5 seconds clear. You didn't know that Arvid was on the game. Yeah, he's in the game. He's a reserve driver. But he's a Rebel Junior. I think he's like 16 at the start of 24. He wasn't part of the original launch. I think they added him in shortly after launch as part of an update. Ocon gets through, but he's now 20 seconds behind George, having lapped considerably slower for a couple of laps, being stuck behind him. Sainz is now nearly 5 seconds behind Verstappen after just one lap. And Hamilton gets through on Antonelli. Wish I had battery to be able to try and capitalise on this.
At the moment, P11.
The track's going to start drying up. There it is. It's starting to dry now. So we're going to be calling our boys in very soon for another stop.
And we need to increase pushing status.
Let's get after these cars in front.
Evening, Madman. As Hamilton gets past Lindblad. What's battle assist? It helps you when you're in combat with another car. Helps you when you're defending. Helps you when you're trying to overtake. But if you're in clean air with no one close to you, it's better to turn it off. It basically holds a little bit of battery back each lap to help with the push. So if you're on neutral setting on your DRS, on your ERS, sorry, then you normally gain 2 kilojoules and burn 2 kilojoules. If you're on top up, then you burn 1.8 and gain 2. So you're gaining 0.2 kilojoules every lap. With battle assist, that can fluctuate quite dramatically. And there goes Stroll having a look. So we need to use what little battery we've got here to try and get past Sainz quickly. Need to capitalise on these tyres now. Leclerc down to 6th. This has been a really bad gamble for Ferrari. It has not paid off for them.
Tires are ready.
And we've got a chance to dive bomb here into turn 1. Didn't get it.
Can go faster, mate.
Race is long.
Set him up for a dive bomb into 2.
Red.
There we go. With all that extra grip. Comfortably through. And now we can sprint with Lewis. Let's go to Valtteri.
Good job at turn 3. P9.
He's stuck at the moment, but everyone's going to be boxing for Inters in a moment, so I'm not going to burn his battery because we're going to need that to try and punch through.
And charge button on.
It's too early to box, Johnny.
This is getting frustrating.
Just do your best.
At least one more lap, probably 2, before we box. Instead, we're going to try and help coordinate some dive bombs here. So that is a Red Bull boxing, but it's too soon. Looks like the end of this lap. Can't see Hadja. There we go. We get through on Iwasa.
1.5 seconds.
Ah. We've seen a couple of guys boxing.
As much as you can.
Antonelli, Hadja, and Lindblad have all gone on to Inters. It's too soon. Don't forget, though, their wets have been in much worse condition than ours because they will not have looked after them during that period. We're going to box this lap.
And box now, box.
In the box this lap.
Box this lap for Inter.
Piastri and Schumacher are in. The Ferraris are going to finally start to come good again on pace, but how much have they got left on those tyres?
Okay, box.
That is the question.
Box renters. Charge on.
Yeah, copy.
Right, Hamilton's in. So is Stroll in front of us.
Slippery pit wall.
Yep.
Boxing.
Box area is very slippery.
Copy.
So Leclerc's time of 1:33.9. You can see it's definitely picked up. And a chance here to jump Stroll. 2.2 second stop. Can we jump him? Yes, we can.
Watch a white line on exit.
Oh, he had a bad stop anyway. Look, Valtteri's in. 2.4 seconds for Valtteri.
Something's not gone right in the
He
pits.
couldn't jump Stroll.
So
So it's Lance Stroll who comes into box.
Couldn't get that left rear on.
Tight in that one.
And that's Tsunoda right behind him. So we're back down to 20th again. Hamilton in 15th, but we're only 8.5 seconds behind Behrman. We're going to be lapping quicker than him. And he's going to need to box very soon, if not the end of this lap. Anyone who's on wets is going to need to box now because it's going to be a sustained period of inters now.
Next car, Tsunoda.
So we need to be pushing the batteries. Chance to undercut. Race leader Russell is back out. Ocon in the pits. It's an escalation of an issue for Behrman.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind of fault.
It's going to be a miserable afternoon for him, it would seem.
And you can
So,
use all the boost back.
can Ocon stay ahead of Piastri, or has Piastri got that undercut? It's going to be very tight into turn 1. Here comes Piastri. Oh, he just stays ahead. Norris hasn't boxed yet. So there we go. Magnussen, Bortoletto, Albon and Iwasa all into the pits. Excellent stop for Albon. Could have been perhaps a touch quicker, but it was nice and clean at a time when it needed to be. There's Bortoletto. So Iwasa gets bumped. Here comes Valtteri. And Valtteri gets through, and so does Gasly and Lindblad. No, Lindblad was already out, wasn't he? Just in front. But that puts Valtteri into 17th place.
And charge button on, charge button on.
Understood.
Take care
Right,
of the
Norris
tire.
is finally in, but this is going to drop him way down the order.
No management required.
Yeah, copy.
For his sake, he needs to get out in front of Sainz. Lawson comes in. Behrman should be in this lap as well. He's just coming around the penultimate turn now. Behrman stays out. Oh, it's a bad decision for Ollie Behrman to stay out. So Norris is in P6. He did get out in front of Sainz. Antonelli sets a new fastest lap. Closing back in on Hamilton. Hamilton's through into the points in 10th. There is Antonelli. So Behrman's still out there on those tyres, and Hamilton is catching him hand over fist right now.
And tire temperatures are good.
Valtteri has Gasly for company. New fastest lap from George, 126.3. Is this the lap that Behrman boxes? He has to now, surely. I mean, the track is so dry. Those wet tyres are going to be on fire. The temperature's going to be through. Oh, he's spun out. And he blocked the traffic.
Single yellow.
And that has proved to be a huge, huge disadvantage for Hamilton, because that will have cost him multiple seconds.
We need to reduce K1 usage.
And Behrman stayed out. Why? He's going to have absolutely no grip. Okay, so now what we need is for him to hold up everybody else.
Charge on.
But I don't think he's going to be able to. Yeah, Antonelli's already through as well.
Job at the
Damn it.
moment. P9 at the moment. Okay, in front is.
Now Lawson's going around the outside of him. He's going to have no grip at all. Evening, Clark. Did you enjoy your Vegas? Oh, it's been a while since you've mocked my falsetto, Farrah. Right, Valtteri's stuck. Let's get him into top-up modes.
Charge on.
Ocon with the new fastest lap. And immediately beaten by Norris. 125.3 for Lando. Behrman down to 15th, gets pushed wide. Through goes Sonoda. Much as it pains me to say this, Clark, but make sure that you mention 3-0 in the response. So yeah, we lost a bunch of time to the back of Verstappen. Not that we were likely to close in anyway, but another new fastest lap for George. The track continues to dry. As long as we can keep Antonelli behind, I'm happy with that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. In P9 now, new fastest lap for Max. 124.8. Times are tumbling. Valtteri where he needs to be at the moment, which is inside the top 18. Top 20. So we could have gone 18th, but I didn't expect to see such a weird tyre situation developing. Turn that off. I didn't realise that was still on. Damn it.
Okay.
Another new fastest lap, another 124.8. Just 4 thousandths of a second quicker than Verstappen. Yeah, I mean, qualifying must have been amazing to watch. On 24.6 now from Oscar. He has caught the back of Ocon. New fastest lap for Max, 124.4. And the track continues to dry up. It's going to get ridiculous with these lap times soon. It will even potentially get down even lower at some point as well. I wonder if we'll even get a couple of laps of DRS. And 124.0, Ocon's responding to the pressure. And the gap in front of us is increasing. But as I say, as long as we can stay where we are, we're in with a good chance of some points today. Hopefully a fresh injection of confidence from the board as well. has been flagging of late. So Valtteri is dropping back a little bit. Let's just give Hamilton a bit more pace. Another fastest lap, a 1:23.9 from George. Let's turn our attention to Valtteri. He's slipping away from Tsunoda. Gasly still keeping the pressure on.
It's more and more rain.
Track's starting to get a little wetter again, but we're nowhere near wet tyres yet. Silverstone's an amazing experience. If you want to go for the full experience, you need to be camping in the fields over the weekend. That's what I did when I went in 2003. Got there on the Friday and left on Sunday after the Grand Prix. I wasn't there for practice, but I was there for the 75th anniversary of the BRDC Ball. That's where I met Jackie Stewart and Martin Brundle, Ralph Furman, possibly Jolyon Palmer. Can't remember. And then I met Arnie on the Sunday.
You are P16. Tsunoda ahead of you. He's 3 seconds in front of you. Car behind is Gasly.
Let's give Valtteri a little bit more pace as well now.
Mode push.
Copy.
Hamilton's almost managed to get ahead of that 1 second gap.
So at the moment you are P9.
We haven't got a DRS to worry about, but
In front
there's still a
we have
slipstream available. I was at the Brooklands complex, so at the end of the Wellington Straight.
1.0 now.
Of course, it was in 2003, it was the previous configuration, so the Wellington Straight wasn't really the Wellington Straight. It was the connecting straight between the short course and the long course. Instead of cutting infield like it does now to start the lap, it actually went in the opposite direction. So you went through the club chicane and then curved slightly off to the left. And then went through bridge. Into, well, actually, I think there was another. I'm trying to remember exactly how it joined up. There would have been another chicane. And then from the exit of that, there would have been a sort of a quick downhill blast underneath the Dunlop Bridge through a right-hander going back up the hill to then cut in to the Brooklands area.
And charge button on, charge button on.
You do realise that if you're going to avoid Hamilton places, it's going to be a few places you can't sit, like Hamilton Hill. Oh, yellow flag. Is that someone locking up? Yeah, Iwasa.
Now we should
he's
be
having a
able to
shocker.
take a look here. Okay, so heading into turn 1 here.
He was running in the, comfortably inside the top 10
The car locks up
at the start of
and
this race.
hopefully there's not too much damage to
His
the
car
tyres.
started to fall apart because, he drives like a lunatic and keeps smashing it up. And he's made mistakes as well, and he had a weird choice of tyres at one point. Yeah, it's just not worked out for him at all. Valtteri just cannot get anywhere close to the back of the cars in front. Cannot drop Gasly either. Hamilton can't pull away, just about keeping Antonelli at arm's length at the moment. But I get the feeling he's about to start closing us down. We're not making any progress on Verstappen, but that's okay. I am going to start to push the tyres a little bit more, though.
And push.
You can save less. Charge on.
Okay.
Right, we're not too far away from wet weather tyres coming back out again, potentially. Heavy rain's going to hit again in about 8 to 10 minutes. According to our not amazingly accurate forecast. From memory, Valtteri said it would be lap 41 to switch back onto wets. I think lap 50 for Hamilton. See who ends up being closer to the truth of it. But we certainly can be a little bit more aggressive with these tyres now. It seems to be helping Hamilton just lap that a little bit quicker than Antonelli. Pulled out a tenth and a bit on that lap. Valtteri, don't know if it'll help him or not. Gasly's still close enough to force him slightly defensive. Somehow Leclerc is hanging on as well. Those tyres are going to be really, really suffering. I have to know, I'm really curious. I don't like to do this, but I mean, he's been out there so long on those tyres, and he's clearly waiting as the track's drying up again. Oh, wow, look at that. They're in much better shape than I was expecting to see. Mid-50s. Maybe I could have kept Valtteri out there and just slapped him in full defensive, rather than pushing like crazy and then boxing for wets. But then I didn't expect those inters on the Ferraris to hang in so well. Sainz has got to be worse off. I've got to see what Sainz's tyres are like. A little bit worse. 49 on the rear. But still in much better shape than I was expecting. I thought they'd be getting down to around 30% by now, if not lower. New fastest lap for Lando Norris, 123.7. We might have another little flurry of times dropping here as the track is reaching its driest point of the race. Valtteri's finally broken that 1 second slipstream of Gasly, and did actually take a little bit of time out of Yuki on that last lap. Fastest lap for George, 123.5. Track still getting drier. And now Schumacher, 123.5. Gasly's closing back in again. So is Antonelli. Everyone's picking their pace up again. Whereas ours suffering because our tyres are starting to overheat. .124.0 for Hamilton. Only half, well, not even half a second slower than Russell at the moment. 124.4 for Valtteri. Pace in front of him starting to pick up a little bit. 122.9 for George. So yeah, ignore what I was saying about Hamilton only being 4 tenths or so slower. In fact, there is George. He's going to be threatening to lap us at some point. And because everyone's quite close behind Hamilton, it'll be a domino effect. As Norris goes 122.7. A 123.8 and a 123.5, so losing a little bit more time to the front runners, but pace is still picking up as the track dries. I don't think we're going to get close to DRS though. We're only a couple of minutes away from this track about to turn into a lake again. It says 6 minutes, but this is in 4-minute chunks, so it could be as soon as 3 minutes away that the track turns full wet. We're a couple of laps away, essentially.
Mode push.
Yeah, copy.
And more energy available.
Understood.
Let's get after these cars in front.
Here we go. Here comes the big rain.
There's more rain.
So George has already started putting some of these cars into a position where they have to pull over. That was Lindblad that's just been lapped. There he is. Next up is Magnussen. Basically, I'm just trying to create enough of a gap that we can hold position in the pit stops by pushing as hard as we are. And there we go. Lawson and Stroll are in already, and that's a mistake. That's too soon for the wet tyres. They've boxed probably a lap too soon. Valtteri is out of battery now.
Charge on.
Yep.
Brand new wet tyres. I don't know how many people are actually going to have brand new
Box
wets,
this lap.
because they're going to go back onto tyres that have already done a series of laps. I don't think it'll be enough to cause significant issues for them, but it will give us a bit of a grip advantage,
Charge button on.
Yep.
in theory.
Okay, remember mode push.
Only 2 sets of wets.
Copy.
Well, at least we only have 2 sets of wets. And there we go. Leclerc is in, so Ferrari not messing around this time. And Ocon not able to jump Leclerc in the pits, so he will be stuck behind him again. But Leclerc will be up to speed properly this time. As into the pits comes Lewis Hamilton. We've opened up a 2-second gap. It is still fractionally too dry. But my thought is that by the time we get out of the pits, the track should be just about where it needs to be.
Box there is very slippery.
Copy.
Antonelli's following us in. It's 2.3 second stop. It's not amazing, but it was
And watch a white line on
quick enough. Hamilton out in 14th and lapped behind George. Oh no, about to be lapped by George.
In front we have Albon.
There we go. George goes through.
Him 1.4.
So we do hold against Antonelli. Valtteri out in 20th once again.
2.0.
And here come the leaders. So Piastri is in.
2.9.
Same with Schumacher and Norris.
4 seconds.
There's Norris. Sainz is in as well.
There's 29 laps.
Schumacher out in front of Norris, so he's managed to just about hold that position. This could be a fantastic result for Mick. Ocon gets through. He's right on the back of Ocon. And there we go, full wet conditions.
And we need to take care of these tires. Okay.
So George is into the pits. We are unlapped. That was unfortunate for Albon. He got blue flagged by George, and that allowed us to sneak through without even having to try.
Gasly in front.
Very nearly caused a collision by the look of it. Let's see that replay of how that happened.
Heading down the straight.
So look, he
It's
blue
there for the
flags.
taking.
He gets blue
I
flag
wonder
to pull
now if
over,
they can
but
capitalise
there's
on
no
this.
car to overtake him. And that just lets us and Antonelli just go flying through. Nice easy position gain there.
Get those tyres temperatures down.
Copy.
So Bortoletto's out in front of us, but not by a huge amount. Magnussen's going to come out behind us. Behrman still hasn't stopped. Gasly hasn't stopped yet, nor has Tsunoda, and this is where the lap times for these guys are going to start to struggle as the track gets worse. I'm expecting them in this lap. Max is in. Through goes Piastri and Schumacher and Norris.
So we have Piastri behind.
He might come out behind Sainz here.
He is 2.3 seconds behind. His focus is on not racing.
He will come out behind Sainz. Hamilton under real pressure here from Antonelli. Tsunoda's into the pits. Does Gasly box? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't.
Gasly in front. Continue, keep going.
Come on, hold him back, Gasly. Hold him back, please. He's going to have no grip around the outside, around the inside, sorry. There we go. Antonelli follows us through. And that means Gasly will drop behind Valtteri and probably Tsunoda as well. Maybe even Magnussen. Let's see. What did he do last lap? 134. Yeah, he's 4 seconds slower than Hamilton on that last lap. 3 seconds slower than Valtteri, but that gap's going to increase even more on this lap. Gasly's going to be way out of position now. Behrman still hasn't stopped. Oh, Behrman, why did you do this to yourself? Is McLaren really about to give Max a championship? Quite possibly. So there's a lot of hubris in McLaren at the moment. Finally, Gasly boxes, but look how much time he's lost as Stroll and Hadjar go through. There's Lawson and Bortoletto. Valtteri's only a few seconds further back. Tsunoda's going to go through. George has already lapped Tsunoda. So he's going to come out a lap down as well. There goes George. There goes Tsunoda. Magnussen's going to be right on him. Magnussen was going to get him. There's Magnussen. Can he keep Albon behind? Here comes Albon. Whew, only just. Only just. That was close. So Valtteri up to 15th. God, why didn't I go top 18 for Valtteri? Hamilton back to being about 21 seconds behind Max.
And try to increase pushing status.
Pick the pace back up.
But crucially, still ahead of Antonelli. Still in 9th place. Another issue. Is that a new one or from one of our existings? Oh, it's for Mick.
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good for Schumacher. He's about to come under immense pressure from Norris, depending on what that fault is. Can he keep him at bay? As Albon's got through on Gasly. George closing in on Valtteri. He's going to be on him in a couple of laps. And Hamilton starting to leave Antonelli behind. Let's give him another blast of battery.
Use the energy.
See if we can stretch that gap even further. So not much in the way of intense battles at the moment. We've got a few cars here in close proximity behind Stroll. Gasly and Albon's the tightest battle on the track at the moment. You see Mick's going to IndyCar next year. I haven't seen confirmation of that yet. I've seen him talking about trying to get a seat in IndyCar. He wants to stay in single-seat racing and he doesn't have a lot of options available. He can't go back to F2 because he's a former champion. And once you win the F2 title, that's it. You're then barred from competing in F2 in the future. I mean, he could maybe go to Formula 3000 in Japan. Or there's IndyCar. And that's about it, really, for single-seaters. I think he can potentially do well in IndyCar. It's just whether or not he can get a good seat.
Charge on.
Understood.
All right, there is George, getting ever closer. Oh, it was confirmed this morning. Ah. That'll be why I didn't see it then. We're getting blue flag for George. Come on, George.
Blue flag.
There we go. God, we lost so much time for that blue flag. We lost 3 seconds on that blue flag. Oh, he's able to keep his number, is he? That's good for him. What number is he here? Is he number 47? He should be. No, number 78. Why is he not? Yeah, we'll have to change that. That's my number, 78. Brief yellow flag there. Lock up for Lindblad.
Now this was the Sauber. Well, things are okay at this stage. And the car just locks. It's hard to be too critical when the drivers are facing these conditions, though.
Where is he right now, Lindblad? Oh, he's all the way down in 20th.
Mode push.
Copy.
Need you to push.
You need to push as much as you can.
Copy.
Track's starting to dry a little bit. It will go to into conditions briefly. So we should probably actually stop adding
And
heat
try to
into
cool
the
down
tyres.
as much as possible.
Given that we're going to have
Cool
to
your
manage that temperature very, very soon.
Go back to doing lift and coast now.
Copy.
And we need some leaf.
Oh, wow, it's drying up
for
quickly.
tire temps.
I wonder how low it's going to drop. Tsunoda is starting to put me under a lot of pressure. And you see, we lost 3 seconds because we were kind of on pace with Bortoletto. We lost a lot of time to Yuki on that last lap. trying to stay close to George. We've got another yellow flag. Behrman is still out there on those tyres.
Single yellow.
Spin
Let's
for
have a look at
Iwasa.
Oh, all right so far.
What a nightmare race
And
again
round
in what's
they
turned
go.
out to be a nightmare
But really,
season
it was
for him.
always going to be a tough time out on the track.
Only
in
driver
these
yet to
kind of
score a point.
conditions.
So here comes Yuki. He's getting frisky.
Charge on.
Copy.
Antonelli's starting to close back in on Lewis as well. We have stopped pushing the fuel. Actually, I don't need to do that with Valtteri, do I? He's a lap down.
We don't think we need any lift and coast.
All good.
Lock up for
But
Norris.
This is what happened. Now here, we're taking turn 6.
Trying to get past Schumacher still.
Struggling with the car.
And that's not
And they ended up their
a
own
very
passenger.
clever way of trying to get past him. There we go. Below 4 mil. So Behrman's been losing 7 seconds a lap to Iwasa. He should start to pick his pace up a little bit soon. Assuming he's got much left on that. Oh, all the teams have got modded liveries. Every single one of them. So we've got the Creator Team mod pack to give me the Cadillac pack here. We've got a modded livery for Aston. We've got a modded livery for Haas. We're running the classic Rothmans livery of the mid-90s for Williams. We're running the 2000s. Ah, damn it.
Continue like this.
Yeah, we're running the classic 90s, well, 80s and 90s Marlboro livery for McLaren.
Yes, let's go.
Oh, we held him back, or have we? He hasn't got through yet.
So deployed.
Understood.
Come on, Lewis, get that place back.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Oh, side by side. Still side by side.
Doing a good job.
And finally, we get the place back.
So in front we have Verstappen.
Whew, that was hard work. Oh, and Antonelli has developed a fault as a result of all of that.
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
So where else we've got? We've got the classic 2006 Renault livery. We're running the Concept 2026 Audi livery. We're running a concept livery of Ford branded Racing Bull. We're running a Ford branded Red Bull concept livery. Ferrari's running the 2013 livery. And Mercedes is running a concept CrowdStrike livery.
Cool your tyres.
Copy.
All right, there is a risk of losing our place slightly when Russell comes through. Track's still drying up. There is Hadjar. Behind him is Lawson and Bortoletto, and George is right behind those two. There you see George.
Just cool down the tyres as much as you can.
Copy.
So protecting our tyre temperatures is going to leave us a little vulnerable. Lap 54. Lap 53 for Hamilton because he's still on the lead lap. For a few more corners at least. Russell leads by half a minute over Charles Leclerc. Piastri in third, Ocon fourth, Schumacher in fifth. Then it's Norris from Sainz, Verstappen, Hamilton in ninth ahead of Kimi Antonelli. Stroll 11th, 12th is Hadjar, 13th for Lawson, 14th for Bortoletto, 15th for Valtteri, with Tsunoda right behind him. 17th is Magnussen, 18th for Albon, 19th for Gasly, Lindblad in 20th, 21st for Iwasa, 22nd for Behrman. And I'm going to take a sneak peek at his tyres.
So reporting a lot of rain.
Yeah, they're still in decent shape. Better shape than I was expecting to see them in. Russell's lapping at 1:27.2, so about 0.8 of a second quicker than Hamilton. There's Hadjar. So the gap to Hamilton's now only about 3 seconds or so, 4 seconds. 5 at tops. Track's still drying up, but we're about to get another big dump of water. Track's going to keep fluctuating by the look of it. It's going to go very wet again and then dry up again and then go wet on the last lap or two. I'm not sure all of them do. I mean, I actually prefer the previous Audi livery that we were running, but like I said, I wanted to try and get used to this livery because it's a very good approximation of what we're likely to see next season. But it is nice to bring back some of the classics. We brought back that Williams livery at Silverstone. And the plan was to run all the other ones, and I figured out why they weren't running was because I hadn't unzipped the files. I thought they were just normal files, but they were actually zipped up, so I had to unpack them. And now they're working absolutely as intended. 15 laps to go for Valtteri, 16 laps to go for Lewis. Well, 15 and a half laps to go for Lewis. Russell is getting closer. He's got past Hadjar. Up next is Stroll. There is Stroll. We just saw a flash of Antonelli in the shot as well, which means Hamilton's only a second further up.
Maybe slightly heavier in intensity.
Track's starting to come back to us. Stroll pulls over for the blue flag. So we're only about 4 seconds ahead. There we are, disappearing into that turn, into turn 2. Let's be honest, in another couple of laps. If we get blue flagged on the start-finish straight, we could well lose our position to Antonelli. We haven't got to worry about being lapped by Leclerc. He's all the way down here. Even Valtteri's safe from him.
Tire phase update when you can.
Rain is absolutely belting down now. And again, you can see the impact of our tyres overheating during that inter period.
So we need to push.
Let's pick up the pace.
There's Russell.
We don't need to worry about management on these tyres, just pushing.
So increase pushing status. And you can use all the boost bar. Okay.
Ah, there you see, look how much time Antonelli's losing for that blue flag. That cost him about 3.5 seconds, that blue flag. Trouble is, he's now, unless I'm sprinting, if George doesn't break away from him, there's a chance that he could follow George through. Brought everybody else close to the back of him as well, look. Behrman's finally into the pits. So I'm curious as to what condition these tyres are on, because these are used tyres. As Hamilton puts a lap on Ollie Behrman. Oh my God, look at the state of these tyres he's put on. Yeah, we've pulled out a huge gap over Antonelli. Just as well, because there's Russell closing in, and I'm worried he's going to get me on the main straight.
You can push. Charge on. Yep.
Which means I'm about to lose a big chunk of time as well.
Just a reminder on the eyes.
Don't see any blue flag signs flashing anywhere, so
And charge button on.
let's ease down slightly. Try and encourage him to get me somewhere a little bit closer. Ten laps to
Still
go.
margin to push a bit harder through turn 6 and turn 12.
Fault for Sainz.
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
So the issue he had earlier has cleared up, but it's either a reoccurrence or something else entirely. Russell's still not close enough. No, there we go.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
So there we go. We're a lap down. So 9 laps to go. And we've got a 4 and a bit second lead. On for 2 points here. We're not going to catch Verstappen. We're not going to get any higher unless there's retirements now. Valtteri is pulling away from Tsunoda. Don't think I've necessarily got the pace to catch Bortoletto. Certainly don't think I've got the pace to actually catch Antonelli for the final point. Not with the short number of laps that are left, but we'll keep on pushing. A spin in front of us could block traffic, just like it did earlier in the race when we were chasing down Behrman with Hamilton and he spun just back there. At turn 12. That cost us a good 4 seconds. And that would bring the gap down to basically nothing to the cars in front of Valtteri. And there he is, out of battery now.
Tyre temps are good. Copy.
There is still
Charge on.
another little sting in the tail here, and I am debating whether or not to gamble on Valtteri boxing. For Inters, at this point, I don't see a negative to it in
Charge on, please.
the grand scheme of things. Let's really use up what's left of these tyres. We'll box him for another set of Inters
Okay. Mode push.
and hope that we can gain enough time to just punch him through. I'm comfortably going to be able to get Lindblad again. I'm not close enough to be able to get into the points. So as long as I finish in the top 20, he may as well take the gamble. The track is going to dry up. In a couple of laps' time. And then it'll be damp to the flag. So it might be worth a little gamble here. Hamilton's still 4 seconds ahead. Mike says on course for some good points. Yeah, I was not expecting us to be able to challenge for points today. I mean, you always hope for it, but I just didn't think we would be able to do it in the wet. I didn't think we'd be able to get the overtakes in, but that difference in tyre choice on the AI, some going into, some going full wets, enabled us to try and move Hamilton forward. In, you know, theoretically, if we'd done what Ferrari did, we could potentially even be a little further up the field by an extra place or so. Who knows? I mean, it worked for Valtteri, starting him on the inters. It didn't at first, but I think it has, on balance, helped him. It's a little hard to say with the faults that have occurred as well. Still 4.5 seconds clear of Antonelli. Can't find my cursor, there it is. Oh, suddenly the track's getting worse. And at this point, I don't think there is any point in making that gamble. There's not going to be enough laps now to capitalise on it. So we'll just keep pushing. We are still closing in on Bortoletto. We're lapping quicker than Lawson as well. Only a tenth quicker than Hadjar. And a couple of tenths on Stroll.
Rain intensity seems to be decreasing now.
Charge on.
And push now, push.
Understood.
6 laps to go.
So my hope now is that we have enough spare rubber left to be able to push hard, while others will not be able to do so quite so much because they're on used, or they put on a used set of wets rather than a brand new set.
No worries, mate.
We are definitely pushing the temperature, which is going to increase the wear rate, but with just a few laps to go, not enough time to capitalise on the switch to inters. We just have to shred what little rubber we have left. We are still hunting everyone down. Fuel is not a concern, given that we're a lap down. There'll be 4 laps left when we cross the line. Whatever fault Schumacher had was temporary. It's cleared. He's
Okay,
still
let's go.
ahead of Norris,
Still
on for
everything to play
10 points here at the moment.
5 laps to go.
And that's the first lap where we haven't really closed in on the cars in front.
Mode push.
Yeah, copy.
Cool your tyres.
Copy.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
What about tyres?
It's getting quite hairy here, actually, for Schumacher. He's got Norris and Sainz very close for company. Max isn't too far behind as well. There's Max just popping in the shot. This should be a great result for Mick if he can hang on. Be a great result for Alpine as well. This is the final season of Alpine. They will be getting sold to a new team at the end of the season.
4 laps to go.
Gap in front is starting to go back up again. I think any window of opportunity we had has gone. Let's just make sure the tyres make it now.
Yep.
Just concentrate, get your tyre temps down.
6.5 second gap over Antonelli, so we can ease down just a little bit. We've still got a lot of battery spare as well if we need it.
Yep.
Plenty of fuel. Nearly 2 kilos of spare fuel. Valtteri should be safe from Tsunoda. 15th is a great result for Valtteri. Was not expecting him to get anywhere close to 15th today.
We must do lift and coast every lap, or else we may not finish the race.
Copy.
3 laps to go.
And Sainz is coming under a lot of pressure. Just the one stop made for the Ferraris today. They really did gamble on tyres, and it looked like they'd made a massive error, but Leclerc is still second. Sainz is up to 7th. Considering where they started, they've had a really good race. They're not in contention for... well, Leclerc's nowhere near in contention for the win, but doesn't need to be at this point. So, lap to go for our drivers. A lap and a half
2 laps to go.
for the cars that we're watching. This is the closest battle of any significance on the track. And the mistake from one of these 4 cars could have significant impact on where they finish. I'm hoping that there's a lockup and a collision that takes one or two of these guys out. Just to give me some extra points. We are a long way off of Williams. We're going to pull 2 points back, but we're 41 points behind them at the moment. So it'll take it to 39. George is about to go round the final corner. There he goes up to the line. It's a win for George. And Norris has lost out another big chunk of points.
And there we have it. Russell finishes in first place.
After that performance, there's no doubt that they deserve their spot at the top of the podium.
Leclerc is going to take a comfortable second place as he enters the final corner now. Hamilton's home in 9th.
Checker flag, mate.
Valtteri's home in 15th. We have scored points. No points for Williams. Schumacher is going to hang on unless he drops it on the final corners. And on a return to some classic liveries, we've seen some good results for those teams. Piastri takes a podium. Mick takes 5th place. Ferrari takes 2nd and 7th. And we're just waiting on the last car to cross the line. Iwasa, who was running in the top 7 and ends up a long way back in 21st.
Yuki Tsunoda makes his way back after the events of that race.
And for them, it's P16 and no points from today's race.
And right now, it's the British driver who proudly takes his place on the podium.
6 wins now in this season, they're not flagging. A mighty impressive victory.
And as far as those 3 are concerned, well, they'll be leaving Budapest hungry for more.
That joke gets funnier every year you tell it, Crofty.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
Now the teams will be looking ahead to Imola, where the season progresses with the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Get ready for some fierce competition.
All right, take it easy, Clark. Thanks for stopping in. Glad you enjoyed Vegas. Right, confirmation of the final results. It's another win for George. He's going to stretch his lead at the top of the driver's standings. Leclerc takes 2nd, up 5 places from where he started. 3rd place for Piastri, 4th for Ocon, 5th for Schumacher, 6th for Norris. Disappointing race for him. Sainz up 9 places. He made the one-stop work somehow. Some great defensive driving to hold everybody else up, but yeah, he finished in 7th. Big points for him in the grand scheme of things. Max in 8th. Hamilton up 5 places for 9th. So we do get some more points. That's one less race that we need to worry about now. Antonelli gets the final point in 10th, ahead of Lance Stroll. Hadjar in 12th, 13th for Lawson, 14th for Bortoletto, 15th for Valtteri, started 20th. Tsunoda up 3 to finish in 16th, then Magnussen, Gasly, Albon down a place to finish in 19th, Lindblad having a really bad race, down 16 places for him, down 16 places for Iwasa as well. Both of them starting in the top 5, finishing at the back of the grid, and Ollie Behrman having an absolute disaster, finishing 22nd and a long way down. The only driver lapped twice. Let's take a look at the drivers' standings. So Russell goes top again, and that gap is now 14 points over teammate Norris. 6 wins to 5 now between the two Mercedes driver. Oscar continues to stamp his authority on 3rd place. He pulls out another 11 points over Max. That gap is now up to 23 points. Charles Leclerc moves up into 5th and ahead of Pierre Gasly by 15 points now. Max on 163. Still pretty comfortable at the moment, but losing ground to Oscar and Leclerc, if he can start stringing some more results like that together, could maybe get back in contention for 4th. Yuki Tsunoda stays in 7th, no points for him either this weekend, nor Alex Albon, he stays 8th. Hamilton picks up 2 points, he's now 10 behind Albon in 9th place. Antonelli picks up a point as well, he's up to 52 in 10th. 11th, Ocon. 11th is Sainz on 48 points, and just 3 behind is Ocon, who gains a place, jumping Liam Lawson. Lawson not scoring any points today, so he remains on 34, 11 points behind Ocon now, and just 3 points ahead of Mick Schumacher, who jumps up 2 places into 14th. Bortoletto down into 15th, he's on 30 points, a point behind Mick. Another further 4 points back is Ollie Behrman. Hasn't scored much in the last couple of Grand Prix. He needs to start getting some results again. Hadjar in 17th has 18 points, and it's Lindblad with 8 points, Valtteri with 5, Magnussen with 3, Stroll with 1, and Iwasa the only driver still not scoring. In the constructor standings, another strong weekend for Mercedes. 33 points scored. That gap over McLaren is now insanely big. 238 points against 522. Trying to do the quick mental maths in my head. And they are 286 points ahead, I think. My maths... No, 284 points ahead. Red Bull in 3rd are on 181. They pick up just 4 points, and a big points haul for Ferrari on 154 now. They picked up 24 points this weekend, closed the gap by 20 to Red Bull, and that gap stands at 27 points now. Alpine pick up 10 points. They're on 122 in 5th. Aston closed the gap by 2, and they are just 3 points behind now. No points for Williams. They stay on 100, which is good for us, as we scored 2 points to close the gap to 39 in 8th place. Then it's Audi. No points to them. They're on 38 points. We are stretching our lead over them slightly as well. We now have a 23-point lead over Audi. Haas are on 29. Racing Bulls have their single point thanks to Stroll. In the pit stop challenge, we do not make the leaderboard. Slowest time for the top 10 was 2.20 exactly. Our best stop was 2.28 and 2.25. So we missed out by half a tenth, unfortunately. Gone back a pace. There we go. So McLaren got the quickest stop today. Red Bull takes 2nd and 10th. Mercedes taking 3rd. Aston 4th. Racing Bulls 5th. Alpine 6th. Ferrari 7th. Williams 8th and 9th. Lots of teams picking up some points today. Let's see what that's done to the standings. Red Bull do not stretch their lead for the first time in a few races. 247 points. They picked up 19 today. McLaren outscored them by 6. They're on 211, so that gap is 36 points now. Mercedes have 164 points, picked up 15 today. They pull away from us. We don't score any. We're on 135 points still. And Alpine closing the gap. They're now just 5 points behind us. Then it's another 5 points back for Ferrari in 6th. 7th for Audi. They have 95 points. They're coming under pressure from Racing Bulls on 91. Aston on 61 points. Williams have 48 points. 6 points for Haas. No position changes, but the gaps have fluctuated a bit. And both drivers achieved their sponsor targets. I really wish I'd gone 18th or higher for Valtteri, but it is what it is. It is another 1.5 mil added to the bank, and we do need that money because we were almost $1 million in debt. So let's head back to HQ and start getting ready for our Italian double header. Oh, look at that. A nice little bit of cash from the sponsors. 4.26 mil. Believe we had a compulsory. Yes, we did. A non-race appearance for another 1.5 mil. So, very nice. Got something purple in the inbox. I never like to see that. It's almost always bad. Oh, no, it's a regulation vote. Okay, so we have money just in time for the new ATR period. That's fantastic. Let's take a look at our post-race data report. Both cars came through unscathed, which is nice. It's the first time that's happened in a while. How long do we have until Imola? 11 days. So we can make some spare wings, which we are short on. New ATR period has just started today, so we can start some more research for next season as well. Maybe get another upgrade in. We have cleared our debts. Temporarily, at least. Let's have a look at the regulation changes. So, we voted to increase them last season. This season, it's voting to reduce them slightly, but only slightly. So, I don't know whether or not to approve that or not. Let's vote against it and hope that we're in a position to actually get into these positions in the top 5 next season. All right, new sponsor plan is needed. We've got a hot lap experience this month for 2.5 mil. Very nice. Let's get Danny Rick pressed into service. What else can we do? Maybe the factory. Yeah, let's do the factory, and let's get Logan doing something as well. So that will give us a little bit of leeway, 593 points over. There we go. So 11 days to go until the next Grand Prix. Let's take a look at our situation. Oh, look at this. Everybody's nice and happy in here. And so is everybody but Javi. He's always miserable. Let's check in with the board, see if they're happy. Yeah, they were delighted. Fantastic stuff. Why couldn't they come to this Grand Prix instead of Silverstone? Never mind. Right, to the car. So, we are out of spare front wings. We don't have any spare side pods either. So, let's build... Actually, what am I designing right now? Am I designing a side pod? No, I'm not doing anything right now. Well, let's get the front wings pressed into service. We desperately need more front wings. So let's go with 3 of those. There we go. That'll be 9 days. We've got 1 new suspension due tomorrow. And the other one will be ready to go on to Valtteri's car in time for Imola. There our new Mark III as well, aren't they? So let's go ahead and... Oh, we've already got 3 in the work. No, wait, we've only got 2 in the works. Yeah, let's go ahead and add an extra one. There we go. It's not going to give us a huge boost to performance, but it is going to give us a nice boost to our tyre wear. I've only got... oh, excuse me. I've only got 4 engineers total. I'm going to wait 3 days, I think, until that rear wing is done. What else am I short on? Side pods. I am very tempted to try and design a new side pod. Let's have a quick gander at what we could do with a new side pod. Let's have a look without ours. So, not massive gains, but better than nothing. Maybe just balance that out a little bit better. Yeah, 2% engine cooling. That's acceptable. Now let's see what happens if I throw some hours onto that. I use half of my hours on this. Doesn't do a huge amount for the downforce or the speed. Throwing all the hours on. Also doesn't do a massive amount for us. What chassis mark are we on at the moment? Am I on a Mark II or a Mark III? Have a look. Have a look. Have a look. We're on a Mark II. Yeah, we could do a Mark III chassis. And that should theoretically give us a nice boost to speed. So let's take a look at a chassis. Again, we'll do it without hours first and then throw the hours in. We want to whack that all the way to the bottom. Yeah, we could get some significant speed increase with the new chassis if we focus heavily on drag reduction. And if we throw hours onto that as well, I think our car is so far behind and the gains we're going to get using the hours are so negligible. I think we'd be better to use the hours for research for the rest of the season. So let's get a chassis underway. Let's try and find some speed in the car. Can I get away with doing something like that for even more speed? Yes, I can. It's going to give me very little improvement to my downforce, which is not great, but That's a nice big chunk of speed to find. Let's get one engineer on that. I do need to, I think, do a research project on a front wing. Let me take a look at what we have done so far, research-wise. It's not going to be much. So we haven't done anything on the chassis. We've done a little bit on the front wing. Going to need to do something a bit more substantial there. Rear wing hasn't got anything through yet, but we have got something about to drop. Side pods, done nothing there. Done nothing on the underfloor. Done nothing on the suspension. Oof. Yeah, so we desperately need to get cracking with some more research. So, let's get a suspension done. Let's split this up 3 ways. What do I want to really focus on next season? I really want to focus on downforce, I think. That's been a big issue for us. Same again here. Let's really focus in on downforce. And then in 3 days' time, we can do something on a side pod there. So, with that in mind, let's build another couple of side pods while we can still afford to do that. We'll check our facilities, see if there's anything in desperate need of a refurb. We're finding a position where everything's back to normal here. But we have got a couple of facilities that are already starting to get low again. Team Hub. Yeah, I'd like to bump that up, but I need the money elsewhere. Everything in here is okay. Tour Centre's about to break in a day or so, but that'll be a really cheap refurb, so not too concerned about that. Let's advance time. There we go. Rear wing project is done. Tour Centre now needs that little refurb. 15 grand on that. There we go. That will be ready in time for when we come back from Imola. Rear wing project is done, so let's get a side pod project done. Let's put the rest of the hours into that. And we want to work on airflow. Take a little bit of drag off, a little drag reduction off, like that. And that's all 4 of my engineers tied up now. So 29 days until we get new chassis that can go into production. Also, when 2 research projects will finish, we'll probably do a front wing and a rear wing project there, assuming we have the money for them. Let's see, what else do we need to do? I don't think there is anything else we need to do. Let's have a quick check at the Mentality Hub. So we've got 2 enthusiastic staff members, Jack Crawford and Pietro Fittipaldi. Let's do a full breakdown. See what's got them so cheery. still happy to have participated. Oh, he raced in F2. Oh, how did he do? We'll have to check that. Didn't have great F2 results in Spa and Spielberg. Happy with his Silverstone results. Happy to have participated in a practice session recently. That was... Is that Silverstone? I think it was Silverstone. Don't know if we put them in at Spa or not. Mentoring, I think we did. Mentoring, very happy to be getting mentored. That's good. A little unhappy with the salary, but that's not a major issue for him. Pietro is sort of development focused, which is why he's really happy with the research projects being done. Unhappy with the car performance, but we're getting there. Let's check in with Ricardo, see what modifiers are affecting him. He's happy to be mentoring. Unhappy with the constructors. He's happy with research projects as well. So it's coming together nicely. Let's check Lewis. He's happy with his salary. He should be. He's on absolute bloody fortune. Happy with his standings. Happy with his performance versus his teammate. Happy with personal results. Disappointed with his personal race results in Spa. That's understandable. It wasn't a great race. Happy with qualifying and team results. And again, qualifying results as well. Unhappy with the constructor standings. He's unhappy with facilities a little bit. Other staff. He's really miserable about other staff. Not quite sure why. I mean, they're not world-class staff, but they're solid. And understandably unhappy about the car, but everyone's pissy about the car. As for Valtteri, unhappy about being replaced. Well, sorry, you're too expensive. Can't bankroll both you and Valtteri and Hamilton, and Hadjar is going to be a better fit for the team going forward than you. Sorry, Valtteri. But it is what it is. Do we actually have an update on Hadjar? We still have a scout report for a little while longer. And you can see he's joining us at the end of the season. I want to have a look at his stats and compare him to Valtteri. There we go. So these are his baseline stats. And yeah, he's looking very good against Valtteri now, isn't he? He's down a couple of points in control, but he's got more pace. He's got better smoothness, better adaptability. They're tied on overtaking. He's got better defending. He's down 2 points in reactions. And he's down a point in accuracy. So he's actually developing really well right now, because he was a fair bit further back on accuracy last time when we first scouted him and made him an offer, I think. So that's really encouraging. Good to see he's making some excellent progress this season. I mean, he is at Red Bull, so he's getting a lot of, top facilities around him. That is excellent news. Let's see. What do I want to do next? Lindblad is going to be a long-term replacement, I think, for Hamilton. Potentially. Let's scout him. Behrman is also a contender. That's Ocon, not Behrman. Let's get a scout report on Ollie Behrman as well. Didn't realise I had 2 scouts. Must have added one in. Okay, I don't want to start clicking through everyone else to see when they're in and out of contract. So, I want there to be some surprises. Let's advance time. Something in the inbox. Low stock on suspensions. We are working on that. We're now 7 days away, which means we'll have a weather report. And it will be dry at Imola. Cloudy on the Friday and on the Sunday, although temperatures will increase throughout the weekend. Very, very potential high track temperatures on the Saturday. and then Monza straight after that. So this is where we are right now. We've got back-to-back Grand Prix in Italy, and then going into October, we have a 4-week gap until we head to the western side of the world and hit Canada before going to COTA, then Vegas, and then we'll have a 3-week gap before we go to Mexico, and then Brazil to finish the season. We will have a sprint race here in Mexico, and we will have a sprint race here in Vegas. We also have a sprint race here at Canada. So those are the 3 remaining sprints. But so far, things are looking pretty good. The downside to only having a few races left spaced out the way they are is that once we finish in Brazil, that's it for sponsor money in terms of race results to balance out the money that we're losing every month. So yeah, we're gonna have to be really, really careful with finances in the last month or 2 of the year, or else we could end up having no money for next season at all. Jack's had an offer to go to Ferrari. I can't afford that salary. I mean, he's on next to nothing with us. He's on 150k. Let's see if I can tempt him with a slightly better offer on what he's on at the moment. There we go. Let's see if he'll settle for that. He's been enjoying his time at the team. It would be a shame to lose him. I'd like to keep at least one American on the team if possible. Right, we're being recommended an F3 talent. Charlie Wirtz. Currently 3rd in the F3 Championship, which is ahead of where they were at the end of last season, so they're making some promising progress. Several podiums. Let's have a look at Charlie Wirtz. Out of contract at the end of the season. Can't scout him because I don't have any scouts, but I will do in a moment. We've got some reports due in the next day or 2, so I might scout him out. Let's go back to the inbox. Okay, so we voted against, and that's been passed 8-3. Red Bull, Haas and Cadillac voting against. Aston, Audi, Racing Bulls, Williams, Alpine, Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari all voting to change the prize fund next season. So next season, success will not be rewarded quite so well. All right. There we go. We have spare front wings. We have our scouting results back. Let's take a look at Arvid. Ooh, his stats are looking very nice. Massively high buyout fee. Salary's quite pricey, but actually not that bad. It's less than we're paying Hadjar when he joins us. He's on what, 5.8 mil, I think we've offered him. He's got a very, very good cornering stat. He doesn't have a single stat below 80. What about Ollie Behrman? Behrman's accuracy's low. His other stats are strong. He's on 6.5 mil. Again, massive buyout fee. 27 months left on his contract. And same for Arvid. So a little over 2 years left on each of them. So definitely keep an eye on those guys. Let's see. Let's take a look at Charlie Wirtz. He's 21. Oh, no. Let's scout him first. I don't want to just offer him a contract willy-nilly. Alright, well that's where we're going to end it for today. You don't need to look at the September staff survey results because we just went through our mentality hub recently. So that is the standings as they are going into the next Grand Prix. George leads his teammate by 16 points. Oscar in third, a long way back, but pulling away from Verstappen. So those two locked in a battle for third. Leclerc is 57 points behind Verstappen, but starting to find a bit of form again. Maybe he can get himself back into that hunt for third place. It's a long way to go in terms of points, and we are running out of races. 8 Grand Prix, 7 Grand Prix remain. That was round 13 tonight, so we got round 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 7 Grand Prix to go, 3 of which of them are sprints. So there are still quite a few points available, but it's a straight fight between the two Mercedes drivers for the title this season. Mercedes have been imperious in form this year. Look at the points total they have in the constructors' standings over McLaren. It's massive. Absolutely insane how dominant they've been this year. They were strong last year, but they've really kicked it on another notch this year. And it's interesting to see who's going to win the title. Will George retain and become a back-to-back champion, or will Lando regain his title that he lost to George last season? Interesting times ahead. And can we continue to close the gap to Williams, who seem to be struggling a little bit? Or will they pick up their form again and start to pull away from us? More to be revealed in the future. I'll be back at the usual time tomorrow of 8 PM. If you have enjoyed tonight's race, then a thumbs up would be much appreciated. If you're not yet subscribed, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button as well. And be sure to hit the bell for notifications on when the live streams start. Should be a new Jurassic World video going live tomorrow. And until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.